Hello, hello, hello. This is G. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we're connected, if we're working, if you can hear me. Let's see if technology is going to be our friend today. It is Friday, August 7th. Yes, the day before the 8/8 Lionsgate. Ooh. Right? Let me shut some things. We got a whole lot of extra things open here that we... Damn, did I close the live stream down? Shit. Wrong thing. Okay, we're good. We're here. Can you hear me? All right. Here we go. My name is G, and we do free readings. Yes, you heard me. Free readings. These are speed readings. Get your digits to me: birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state, and I create your astrology chart. What's the catch? Not really any catch. Not really. You just got to have patience, wait your turn. And if you want me to look at your chart, yeah, get your digits to me. Sometimes people have the means and they want me to spend more time on their chart. And so they send a gift to the channel. And that's fine. If you have the means to do that, then go right ahead. The payment apps are down below. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. We're going to take a look at everybody's chart that shows up. We try to do this at least 2, maybe 3 times a week. So if you don't get picked today, I mean, we go in order of the queue, how you show up in the queue. So have some patience. But yeah, and if I have your chart already in my system, then please just remind me. Sometimes I see a lot of charts and it takes a minute to figure out who's who and what's what and all that good stuff. So keep in mind a few things. This is a live stream that has no ads in it. Purposely ad free, obviously, right? This is kind of like a learning community. And I'm looking at a chart and reading your chart. Once I am looking and reading your chart, I'm not reading the chat. There is no rapport. You follow? So when you put your digits in, if there's something you want me to focus on, please keep it short. Give me 1 or 2 words, something you want me to focus on. Otherwise, I read kind of just whatever jumps off that page, whatever kind of jumps out to me or whatever. Yeah, it just depends. It depends on what you're going through, I guess. So we're gonna yeah, we'll start there. And I saw Dorothy's name, and then the live stream said something was wrong, and then I had to do something different, and then it came back up again, and then Dorothy's name wasn't here. Dorothy, are you out there? I mean, this was like right at like 2:30. And yeah, that's why I have Dorothy, you're first up. I see Rahu Kumar. Rahu says, I still don't have a job. So Rahu, I know I have your digits. You're number 2. Unless Dorothy's not here, then you're number 1. And again, if we're looking at the chat, right? And if I call your name, regardless of where you are on the chat, if I call your name and you don't respond, you got to let me know. You got to come in on the chat and say, I am here. Okay. So Dorothina. Yep, there she is. Okay. I called her Dorothy. I don't know if that's her real name, but that's there she is. Yep, can hear you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We go in order, and if you don't respond in the chat to tell me you're here, then I just go to the next name in the chat. We got to keep it flowing. All right. You are welcome, Dylan. You're welcome. Dorothy is my real name. Okay, no problem. Yeah. All right, sounds good. Okay, so Dorothy, you had already sent an email, so I already have your digits from last time. So let's get your chart up here. I know what we're starting off with. I know what the concern is. Let me grab this chart real quick, and I'm going to look at some other things for you since we're talking, where is it? There you are. Okay, let's get this up on the screen. And remember, help the channel out. If you want to share this out, make sure you also give it a thumbs up. Just do all the things that you can do especially for folks who are like, hey, I don't have anything to give. You don't have to, but if you know anybody else that this could benefit, that they might be interested or whatever, then share it out with them. The whole point of the channel truly, though, is to just try to help folks. Readings are not cheap, and I know that. So we're going to try to give you a little bit of help by that way. And I think you're already on the screen. There it is. Very good. Okay. All right. So you had a really good question under one of the recent videos, and you're spot on in what you were thinking about. You said you talked about the nodes, and you're right. The eclipse is right there, and then you got a Venus right there, right? What I want to add is 12th house energy can be government institutional energy. All right. So that's in your 12th house. It is also, of course, hidden values, your hidden soul's goal type of thing being placed in your 12th. And with an eclipse that talks about a new beginning in what and who you value. You follow? This can be highly subconscious energy, dreams, fantasy, but also a strong impression from a time before. And it's interesting, really interesting, because your Venus talks about the day-to-day routines. It's real domestic kind of energy, like in the home. Follow? Yeah, lists, going according to order type of thing. It is a practical Venus energy, even though she likes to have her fun in Leo. But with Leo, it's the children energy, isn't it? Yeah. And so you have that connected to your soul's goal. Interesting, right? So a new beginning right here in that 12th house. And the eclipse, you have Isis there. Isis is all right there at 21, a rebirth of some sort, a rebirth possibly with children, spouse, romance, fun, creativity. And let me take a look. Okay, you have great support. If you look at your chart in Libra energy, in judges, in courtrooms, in law, and lawyers, look what you have at 20 degrees. It's the eclipse and the Pluto and the Mercury, news, information, people of power. This is an exact trine by degree. You see that, right? Yeah, huge, 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 huge. Super supportive. And not only that, but when I see your chart, without even looking at the details, the geometry of the chart itself, yeah, you've got a lot of favorable energy where it can benefit, especially with institutional energy. You see you have Pisces in your 7th house, and you've got the moon there. So this talks about home and family support and finances. Yes, believe it or not. You do have that there. Judges, again, comes up, and courtrooms. Now, Venus is your great benefic, which is what I wanted. I couldn't remember in the chat. That's why I said we'll have to take a look at it at a live stream. Venus is your great benefic. And look, she's connected to your north node. You follow? So when it comes to children, your Venus is a big deal. She's not giving up. And interestingly enough, there is a strong energy, again, with the soul's goals, the soul's mission on this lifetime combined with another time, combined with a past. And what's really fascinating is the children and even the grandbabies, the grandchildren can come through as this is what's coming through strongly right at this moment. You feel, as anybody would, that something was kind of thrust upon you or maybe forced upon you. All of a sudden, there was a change of things and there was this predicament. The reality is with this on the chart is that this will help satisfy what your soul came to do. And you needed a child to do it and not your own child, because this child is more of an authority figure, believe it or not, but has some strong karmic connections. Even your Neptune, even the Neptune of spirituality, right? Higher learning, education, my soul's goals, but my soul's learning, my soul's evolution, it's an exact trine to the eclipse and your north node. You follow? So this new dynamic has to happen. And because it is a long process, it's not normally a quick once and done thing, but I will add, matter of fact, there's a video, I think you just watched it, but there's another video coming up. We're in a very supportive time in general, because we're going to have Jupiter and Saturn connecting. Venus and Saturn, but also Jupiter and Saturn. And for you, right, look at a Venus return. So just this quick look in your chart, you have a lot of very supportive energy that says this goal of yours, this thing that you want to do, keep somebody safe, protect, provide. Moon in the 7th house, provide, nurture, safety. It's very strongly here. It's supported, but not just by you, but by higher ups, judges, courtrooms, by higher ups. So I love the way that this looks, and the energy that's coming around the corner is really strong. For it's not just a simple, oh, this is for this week. Anytime we have a combination of Jupiter and Saturn and Venus and Saturn in your case, because Venus is your great benefic, it talks about a long-term stability. You follow? Long-term material, financial security, emotional stability, but for the long haul. We're not looking just for a quick overnight fix. We're looking for stability. So I think this looks really good, actually. I think it looks wonderful. So with that said, the fact that Jupiter is not your great benefic, and that is Judges, hopefully this doesn't even have to go before a judge. Hopefully that's the case. That would be spectacular. That would be spectacular. And honestly, by looking at like the objects I just pointed out, it looks like it's a damn good possibility. It won't even have to go that far. It's a very good possibility. So Dorothy, I hope this makes sense. I hope that this helps, and I feel really good about it. If the other partner comes in and wants me to take a look at his chart and how this would look for him, the other person that would be helping out, I can do that. But he'd have to, come in under, like you guys normally do. You guys do it right. You do it under another name, and then it's fair to everybody. All right, we're going on to the next name. Remember, folks, these are speed readings, okay? So everybody gets a speed reading. Just make sure I have your birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Let me get this on there. Yeah. Sometimes people don't have a birth time. If you don't have a birth time, then just tell me you don't have a birth time. Just be honest, and we'll create a noon hour chart, okay? We can do that. Just realize that a noon hour chart, it's not going to be as accurate as far as timing of cycles and stuff like that, okay? That would be something that you would probably want to keep in mind. But we can get a grasp of things, especially if you're looking, for more personality stuff as opposed to timelines and events occurring. Okay, so Rahu, are you still here? Because I believe you were the second name that was in the queue, and we go first come, first serve. Everyone gets a free reading. If you want me to spend more time on your chart, totally fine. Just go ahead, and you can always gift the channel. That gift you send, that's totally up to you. Totally up to you. The amount you send has everything to do with how much time I spend on your chart. So it's in the ball's in your court. With that said, we're moving on. Is Rahu there? I don't see Rahu responding. Let me check the phone real quick. Hey, Tim, I see you. How the hell are you doing? How is your Friday so far? Ziggy's here. Dylan's here. All right. So I think if I don't hear from Rahu, then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull up, create a chart for Dylan. I think Dylan was next, but let me double check. The phones don't show you everything. The chat, we're on two streams. We're on a horizontal, we're on a vertical, and using the StreamYard, it just mainstreams all the chats together. So, if you're in one of those and you're thinking, hey, but look, I'm here in this chat line, right? No, there's two different chats and we filter into one main chat. And I have nothing to do with that. StreamYard they weave them all together. Okay. So it's on my end, and Rahu is next. Rahu did not answer. So we're moving on. And the next one, actually the next person I have here says tea time with nature. Tea time with nature says, did mine go through? I typed it in and it disappeared on my phone. Tea time with nature. Do you have your digits? That's how that has to work. So we're going to Dylan. Dylan's got digits, so we're going to create Dylan's chart. And okay, tea time, I see you after Dylan with digits. Oh, tea time says Anthony Simpson. Oh, okay. Anthony, then you'll be next. Yep, Anthony, you're next. Okay, very good. All right, let's get Dylan up here. And Dylan's like, I'm 100% here. All right, Dylan, and let me create this real quick for you. And Dylan said that I don't have a birth time. So it's a great example. I just have to remember that the houses that I'm looking at are not your houses. And I definitely get caught up in that sometimes. I'm just, I'm just crazy that way. I'm just astrology crazy, 2685. And let's go. So we have a January 30th, 1999. Hopefully all y'all are having nice weather. We've had beautiful weather this week. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. They just literally got done pulling trees off of the curb up and down the streets. And we were just so fortunate. No one that I know of. I know some homes did get damaged, but no injuries, no, I got to like move damage. Just, we were really fortunate. All right, so we're going to do a noon hour chart. When we don't have a birth time, we create a 12 p.m. chart. And that just gives us the halfway point between 24 hours if we don't know. So we could be 50-50, 50-50 shot, we're spot on or not. And this is Ocala, Florida. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but let's get that in here. And so this would be your first chart reading, I'm assuming. And let's take a peek at Dylan's chart. Did it come up? There it is. Okay. Oops. Are y'all still there? Okay, so let's get this going. Dylan, this chart is showing, let me go, because it's a noon hour chart. Okay, so this is telling me you're a Cancer moon at 28 degrees. So depending upon your birth time, you could very easily be a Leo moon. And there's a huge difference between a Cancer moon and a Leo moon. A Cancer moon is an extremely internal person. Like their inner workings, their emotions are super deep, kind of hidden, private almost, right? These people probably need some solitude. They need safety, highly empathic energy, actually. It's showing this is in a huge kite, but let me see. Let me see what's making this kite up. Let's see if these are showing me. Because we can't use house cusp lines. No, it's by planets. Pandora's box, Jupiter, Pallas Athena. Wow. Ooh. Egyptian god Ra at the top of your kite. Holy crap. Wow. Oh, I would love for you to get your birth time. So wherever your birth time, whatever county that is, that Ocala, Florida, you can just go to the county. Usually they have online stuff. You pay a small fee. They send you your stuff with your birth time on it. And it probably takes a few weeks for them to process it and get it sent to you, but it would be well worth the money. Trust me. You have some interesting placements. I would love to know where your house cusp lines really lie. So with that said, this is showing a gigantic kite. But before I even get to any of that, the difference, so the Cancer energy, really emotional energy. Was mom really emotional? How was the home? Was there nurturing, right? Was that a big thing? Was it, because this is part of this kite and this trine, if this is right, it just might even seem it just might seem like, well, everybody's life was like that. Or mom was or overly emotional, overly sensitive. That can be a thing too. And so there's a big difference here because that's real focus on home and family. And like we almost become a homebody, and our empathy, empathic abilities, highly sensitive, overly sensitive, possibly. But if you're a Leo moon, oh hell, it's very different. It's daring, dazzling, it's colorful, it's bold, it's big, it's lively, comedy, fun, laughter, parties, entertainment. Very different from Cancer moon energy. Really different. So the contrast between those two, and where with the Leo energy, it's different than the moon in that the Leo energy is like, but I'm the authority, I'm the father. Where the moon energy, Cancer energy, be like, well, I'm the mom, I'm the nurturer. I am more reserved. I'm more, this is about in the home, and yeah, understanding and empathy. And it's not going to be in someone's face and out there and need the spotlight on me, like Leo would. Leo's like, I feel comfortable on the stage, So it is very different. And when Leo steps into the scene, it just takes charge, and it can have that big roar, the Lion of the Jungle kind of thing. And this would also mean your mom would be that way too. You follow? So the moon is ourselves and our emotion and our childhood. Okay. The moon, I'll repeat it, ourselves, our emotion, our childhood. What was childhood like? But also, this is what mom was like too. So, very huge difference between those two. Now, with that said, you would still have this giant kite in your chart. And if this is crazy, if you have Ra at your midheaven in your chart, which this suggests that you do, this is building energy. Building. What am I working on? This is very much legacy energy. This is soul's work, spiritual work. This is the goat. This is the sea goat even. There's a lot involved with the past and history here, because it would be this Egyptian knowledge, the sun god Ra, by the way, and nothing can grow without that sunlight. And this would be that ultimate authority, the god of gods, so to speak. And this combination of it pouring out and being at the top of that kite, we're building for long-term financial security. We're building for stability, material, tangible stability and security. This is career energy. And so the career energy, there might even be a combination if this moon in Cancer is right. This can be a combination of souls from the past, people from the past, deep emotions. This can be a little bit of a trick bag energy as well, because you have Pallas Athena here. I'm sorry, you have Pandora's box here. So that can add a layer of complexity to attachments, bonded energy, insurances, inheritance, people of the past. Property, moon in Cancer is all about property, that's for sure. But then Jupiter. And this Jupiter energy can be judges in courtrooms. It can be, but it can be a lot of wisdom. It can be emotional wisdom, spirituality, and deeply spiritual purpose would be a big one here. But a teacher, this suggests possibly even teaching energy. And if your Capricorn is up there at that pinnacle of the kite, because a kite is about our spiritual purpose, ultimately, like a spiritual goal. With Cappy up there, this would be kind of like that unicorn type of energy, where the Capricorn takes the material, the intangible, and elevates it into the spiritual realm. So it has a very driven, goal-orientated combination with all of this powerful water in the chart, feelings, emotions, highly intuitive, empathic, psychic energy, totally. All right. And it comes through the Ra and the Neptune for that matter. Like, they're both really close here. So we're talking group energy. We're talking soul's goals. We're talking combining the past and a little bit of the karmic stuff, where we're looking out for the group, and we ascend. We take our goal and our career, and we work hard towards a vocation. The vocation energy comes forward really strongly. So not sure where you're at on that cycle, but Maybe you've had connections to it, but even Sirius trines all of that with Isis. Whoa, that's wild. Okay, you have Isis and Ra and a nice trine in this chart with Sirius. So values, money, income, desires, and cravings are going to be strong, but having part of it to be something that we're building on. Wow, really interesting chart. Get your digits, get your birth time, and come back so that we can take a look and just see how this really all plays out with birth. I think that would be really fascinating because you have some amazing looking, just the planets alone and the degrees, like holy shit. Wow. I got to say, there's things I saw in your chart I haven't seen before as far as connections. Even the damn Pluto. Even Dylan's Pluto is at 9 degrees in Sagittarius. More spiritual energy. Spiritual power even. Whoa. Publishing would be a big one. Preacher, teachers, and all that good stuff. Okay, so let me move on. I hope that helps. Hope it makes sense. Yep. Come back with a birth time. All right, so remember, folks, these are free readings, okay? So tea time, Anthony Simpson, you are up. You are next. That would mean that October 31st, 1982, Nigeria, that you're up next. And I hate to chop your name up. And I know I would totally chop that up. So we're going to stick with October 31st, 1982. You're next in line, okay? We go in order of the queue. And that is how we're going to stick to this, okay? So let's get Anthony in here. And open. Let's go find. Do we have it under Anthony? I think we do. Yeah, we got you, Anthony. Here you come. Bam. All right, let's move that off the screen real quick. And we'll go like that. There we go. All right, so Anthony, what we're going to do is okay, so thank you for the person that sent the channel gift. I'm not sure what your name is in the chat. So I'm just going to say thank you, Shane. And you'll have to match me up with your name so that I know who you are so I can spend the proper amount of time for you. All right? When it's your turn. So just hang in there and let me go to Anthony. All right, let me read this really quick. So we have okay, so it's on the 12th at 10:30. Okay, so we're going to do that with this one. Okay, so we're going to go like this and we're going to move forward. So we're talking, I think we looked at this before, but let's just do this. And we're going to go to do this one more time. And we'll create this for you. All right, so let me do this for the location. There we go, there. And Indiana, Pennsylvania. Okay, we can adjust that too. Let's get that on here. All right, so all right. So we're looking to see how does this show up on court, on the day of court. And look, a really big new beginning in the third house of information, news, talking, learning something new even. You have the sun and the moon meeting up here, right? This was the eclipse morning, right? At this time, the sun is, yep, we're at 20, the moon's at 25, but your third house cusp line is at 23. You have authority figure energy here. Now, you do have Juno here that matches that degree. This is partnership energy. And it is group energy. It is, let me see what your chart is for who is on your, okay, Jupiter is your great benefic. That's what I wanted to find out. Your wife's was not. Jupiter is your great benefic. Okay, but communication's going to be big. And this is the start of a new cycle with children. For sure. You have Leo in the second and Leo in the third, both right there. You have Mercury at 5 degrees. Let me see where she's going to be in your chart. If this is, ooh, you got a nice trine, actually. Mercury's going to be a nice trine to your 6th house cusp line. Let me see what else you got going on. Okay, and then the Neptune's up there, so that's government energy. All right, so lawyer, let's see. You even have lawyer energy. Ooh, you have a lawyer Jupiter. This is your, look at this. This is your natal Jupiter. That is your great benefic, and you have it in the Virgo energy. This is the really like connect the dots, make it make sense stuff. Like it's just logical. So I think this is a really big benefit for you, for what you want as your great benefic. It's in the tangible, practical, everyday, domestic home thing, taking care of somebody. This is this energy. This is Jupiter doing a good job, connecting the dots of all the details. Perfection can be a thing, but at the end of the day, Jupiter is lawyers. Now, you do have the Uranus energy creating a square for you on this day. I mean, it's actually already squared up with it. It's sitting at 5 degrees right now, as it is anyway. But I think that had a lot to do with the initial shock, but it could be an authority figure energy. The other thing, too, that I should mention is you have the Venus, which is important. She's on your Pandora's box right here. And that usually is a can of worms that she opens up. So there might be something discussed. I don't know how all that kind of stuff works. I really don't know. I've never been through that kind of a proceeding. I have no clue what that means. Legalities, contracts, courtrooms. This is the energy that you're in. Venus is our values, money, income. And with Pandora's box and opening a can of worms in the home, she's in the 4th house. You see this? Pandora's box. So with the Venus there, let me check your malefic Mars. You have Mars at 24. That could be tricky. And you'll have Mars going through your 12th house. And it will be, okay, that's good news. Let me see if you have something at the opposition. Okay, let me see if we have something angling it. Nothing there. And yeah, it's going to be Mars getting a square from your Jupiter. I think you're good. I mean, the odds are because Jupiter has the power over Mars here. Okay. Your Jupiter plays a role. So if this was my chart, I think I would feel pretty good. I would also just keep in mind to be prepared that there's usually stages and a process to all of this. But like I mentioned for wife's chart earlier, you have Jupiter going through your 2nd house of values and income and your desires. And remember, this is your great benefic. You follow? And you definitely have this big promise of a new beginning. And an authority figure being involved, right? Which means like, this is a court order. This is the way this has to be. So there might be the details, Virgo, that is a little complicated to work out. So the main thing with Jupiter energy, the big caution, what I'm going to share, which usually works out really well with most people, is if we walk in the door with a lot of confidence, like overly confident, then it's usually what gets us in trouble. That's usually what gets us in trouble. We have to be fair, and we can't walk in, with this, I expect everything to go my way. Because when that happens, that's never going to be a good thing. All right. And Jupiter usually tends to make us very overly confident. And in Leo, it might be loud. It might be flashy. It might take certain risks it wouldn't normally take. So in that regard, just be cautious, okay? But the combination of your two charts together, I like the way this looks. So check back and let us know, and just realize that if this has to go, if there's likely multiple stages to it, and to just expect that, because I think that's just kind of how the systems work. Nothing especially, oh my God. Yeah, anything with the law and the courtroom. So yeah, lawyer energy, right? More time, more money. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, so we're going to the next one. And here you are. October 31st, 1982. Are you here? You got to show up in the chat when I call your name. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Tune. Yeah, I don't want to chop it up. Definitely, thank you. We'll not go into over. Yeah, absolutely, Anthony. That's the thing with the Jupiter energy. Just kind of go in with an open mind of you have to let the process play out, and your best and highest interests are for the vulnerable, and you want what's best for the child. Like that's, it provides stability. I can't imagine anybody arguing that, or arguing against that. So, okay, so I'm not seeing a comment. I'm not going to give you all too much time because I got to move on to the next name. If I say October 31st, 1982, 3 p.m., Nigeria, I have called your digits going once, going twice. October babies, that's right. That's that Scorpio energy. All right, we're moving on. Sometimes the chat goes fast. People leave. People are like, I'm out of here. Not a problem. Dylan, oh wait, we did Dylan. Let me move on. Let me see who's next. Dylan, I'm sorry. Dylan said, can you focus on love and career because I have been talking to a girl. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dylan. Dylan, come back another time and we can do that. We'll focus on, you're asking for multiple things. Yeah, which means more time, but yeah, you can come back. Okay, so Blop. Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, Ziggy Zig. Tim's here. Tim, are you ready for a reading? I got a couple of names in here. Again, I'm only going to, if you don't have your digits, I'm going to the next name. Tim, I know I have you in our chart system. Do you want a reading? What about, I don't think I have this. I don't think I have you in my chart system. Blop, it says. I don't think I have you. So we're moving on. Ziggy Zig. Do I have you? If I don't, we're moving on. Oh, Ziggy Zig, do I have you? Please check if you have my birthday incorrect in your system. All right, so Ziggy Zig says I'm in her system. All right, let's check out for Ziggy Zig and see what's going on if I have Ziggy Zig's digits. If not, we go to the next name. And that gives you plenty of time to get the digits in there. You follow? That's the way it's got to be. Otherwise, we're making people wait, and it's just, yeah. We're looking for the Z's. Yeah, let me see. Ziggy Zig, November 13th, 1972. Look at that. We got somebody. There it is. Let's get rid of this. I have a Scorpio on the ascendant at 1427, a Scorpio sun at 20 degrees. I have an Aquarius moon at 9 degrees. Is that you? Woohoo! Remember, these are free readings, everybody. All right. Some of you have sent gifts to the channel. Let me know who you are so I can appropriately. Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. In your head. Changed man. Okay, great. All right. Now at least I know for that one. Very good. I didn't read it all. Tim said I'm passing. Ziggy zig. Woohoo! Free readings for everybody. Sometimes people send a gift to the channel, so I spend more time on their chart, okay? If you don't have the means to do that, don't worry about it. You'll get a free reading. For right now, Ziggy Zig, I've got you up here. You're here. And let me just go and take a look here real quick and see what we're looking at. Capricorn energy is the first thing that jumped out. Your long-term goals. This would be financials, finances, work, career, boss energy, long-term material, tangible security, boss energy, managers, builders. What are you building? You have Jupiter also here in Capricorn energy. So right now, this means you did have, okay. So you had a quincunx going on, a Jupiter and a quincunx, your natal Jupiter. So your finances and your money means you have Jupiter in your 9th house, travel, higher learning, education. It's Leo energy. Okay, this is the placement of publishing. You have Jupiter flying through your 9th house. So if you're not traveling, that's why I said flying. Even your moon suggests technology, possibly airlines, but, AI and all that crap. And whatever you do with tech, you do have it in the place of business and commerce and sales, learning, teaching, communications. And you have your Venus and your Uranus together. Okay, so 20 degrees is up there. I think that's why. Okay, so you're going to have, let me see what this is doing here for you. Communications, okay. All right, so with this Capricorn and this boss thing, are you looking for a job? Are you currently, focused on what you're doing? This number and this degree, why this jumped out, this is like a Virgo thing. It's all about the details. So whether you're getting lost in the details, whether you feel that the details are heavy, because very serious energy here, it connects those dots to the bigger picture, to the long-term goal, to the success, to the recognition even. Yeah. Recognition and success, news and information, reward. Sometimes these folks definitely want the cha-ching, other than just like the pat on the back, right? They want to move up the ladder. So this is a balance issue. It talks about mom and dad energy, but a balance. So authority figures, whether it's at the job, a balance. Learning about the ebb and flows of relationships. Okay. Okay, so the balance I keep hearing in my freaking head, and maybe I've looked at this before, and maybe it's still a thing because you have Jupiter in Capricorn, which can bring down like the law and the rules and the regulations. It can be like, but hey, this is what it is. And it might feel a little restrictive. If it not to yourself, then definitely to loved ones and maybe others. But this suggests within the home too. And health can be a thing here. So whether you work in the healthcare industry or in some manner, right, whatever way that is part of this. Following a structure, following the regulations. But the balance that I keep hearing is there can be too much stress, too much rigidity, too much structure, meaning there's never a relax. There's never something there that recalibrates. We're not always going full throttle, because this is really hard worker energy, by the way. Like if you didn't already get that. Very serious energy, very hard worker. And sometimes this energy needs to freaking laugh. That is for sure. It's good for the health. Yeah. Having that in your health, that's what it's there for. But it's connected to the values. And when our values are really, when we're honed in on that, we kind of don't stop. We just go full throttle. And so it can be too much. And I think that's where the balance that I keep hearing is coming in as well. The other thing too is you have your Saturn up here. And let me see, 20 degrees. So this is your great malefic, and I think this is why. My mind, my communication, the wounds of the past, the Saturn has a lot to do with all this Capricorn energy down here. So structures, regulations, boss energy. Yeah, working with information, maybe education even, but change and transformation and healing. So there's something here with mind energy and the thoughts I keep, the communication style, communicating about traumas, the past, the history. There's something here for others, not just for you. And even siblings and coworkers can be, because like social media energy, where we're taking it in and sharing it back out. This is a big part of this. Maybe a caution within the way the energy, with the way the information gets shared back out. It might be a thing of, because that Gemini stuff can be gossipy at times. So it's a big connection, and the Saturn in your chart, it throws restrictions literally to you, and it's a retrograding Saturn. So I can't remember if we talked about this, but it's still jumping out that Saturn feels heavy with siblings, heavy in learning. Sometimes that can mean, it's a struggle to learn something new, but maybe even traumas, information from the past and siblings. And when I was learning and growing up as a little one in school, there might be traumas connected to that too, and an authority figure. Okay. All right. So that was kind of what jumped out, and we're moving on. Next up, let me see if I pinned that one. Ziggy, I did. Tim said I'm passing. It was good to see you, Tim. Thanks for stopping by. Please, something positive. Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, that is a positive thing, because you have the option. You have, the positive stuff begins with the acknowledgement, with the awareness of something. And you have Jupiter up in that 9th house, which means, optimism is big. Connection with spirituality is big. The future, wanting to hear something positive, having a positive perspective on my future. You should be experiencing that, right? It should be connecting the dots for you. You're going to have Jupiter connecting to your Mercury soon, and which connects to your 2nd house cusp line of Cha-Ching. All right. So there's your blast of positivity. And you have the next few weeks, all of August, to look forward to that. Okay. I think the next person in line is Jessie. Jessie, September 20th, Adelaide. Okay. Does that mean that's all you got? Jessie, are you still here? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. So I don't have a birth time. So I have a birth day and a birth city. Jessie, are you here? Jessie said, you have my chart. Oh, well, that helps. Thank you. Let's see. Sometimes people come, and if I don't see you in a while, or maybe you're under a different name. Who in the heck knows? Jess, I'm probably, oh, you're right. I do. September 20th, 1969. Yay. Look at that. Shazam. All right, remember, these are free readings, folks. We're going through, getting free readings done. And this is for you, Jess. This is Adelaide, Australia, Capricorn moon. Oh, the Mars at the 29, Pluto at the 25. Okay, Virgo, 27 degrees. Okay, your North Node is kind of what's jumping out right now. So Jupiter energy for you, and your Jupiter energy is above that's your great benefic, a healing. Ooh, okay. So this is directly connected with this North Node energy. All right. Interesting time. Okay. So this may bring up some uncomfortableness that's coming around the corner. Not a lot, just a little bit of a nudge, like an itch. But it's to promote a healing for you for the long haul, for in the future. So this can be professional relationships, personal, private relationships, as in marriage, business, and partnerships. Yeah, your Jupiter and your Mercury are coming through strong right now. And the location is all about the healing energy. Now, of course, because there's contracts here, this can be like inheritances and insurance money. This can be part of this, but I'm also hearing like institutional energy might be coming forward big time in some way. The physical body is where your North Node energy lies. So I am not because I really can't remember the last time we talked or chatted. Is there something here? Do you get support in some manner, in some way, whether it's through insurance money? Sometimes this just requires more paperwork, additional information, because you got your Mercury and your Jupiter together. And your great benefic is your Jupiter. So this is a positive thing. This just means that every now and then we got to go through, jump through some hoops, right? Jump through some hoops, fill out some paperwork to make things happen. But having the optimistic, faithful, and prayerful, and sensitive, and artistic North Node in Pisces says, are you using your artistic flair? Or is it just used, for maybe how you dress and your body, what you put on, your clothing, literally how you wear your hair or don't wear your hair? Pisces energy has a tendency to need to escape and a need to get away. And so sometimes these people might really do it up, might put on certain things where they look like somebody else, almost like a costume, but maybe not, right? Have a little fun with that, because if Pisces on the ascendant would kind of like that. And I guess you won't know unless you try it if you haven't done it. But going out and maybe nobody being able to recognize you might be a thing that might be appealing. The other thing I want to add is you have a vertex at 25 degrees. This is fated energy. I want to remind people when it comes to the fated energy, especially for people who have a vertex at 25, it's a combination of my fate and my future with we energy, with myself and somebody else. However, at the 25 degrees, it tells you, it asks you to remember, and yours is connected with family and romantic partnerships and with children, dating, mating, relating, home, nurturing, mom energy. Yours says there needs to be some independence. So whether I am connected with a we vibration, the destiny energy is all me energy, just about me. So the caution here is to make sure you keep that clear in your mind. And having Aries in the second house, I don't think we have to worry about that. Aries value their freedom, value their independence, but you do have that wound with home energy, with nurturing energy, with mom energy, with children even. And there might be a mother wound involved with this, and in partnerships. The good news is that when a person has their Jupiter in that location, they have the wisdom and the information and the knowledge and the internal thinking processes going on where you can move forward with it. Like you can take that information. You may be able to publish with the information that you can come across with, because with the wounds here in partnerships and the Mercury connected to it, Jupiter, is about publishing. So there might be something in terms of wounds in partnerships and what you learned, how you navigated, whatever the hell that is. Don't want to get too private here. That you can do something with, because you have Scorpio in the 9th house of publishing. You follow? And it's about wounds of the past, and your Neptune is even at a Venus degree. So it's about attachments. It's about our values, right? It's about all that stuff. Fascinating. So let us know what you do with that, or let us know. Come on back. All right, these are free readings. We're moving on. We're going through a speed reading. Every now and then someone's going to send money, and they do. I have a name here, someone who sent a channel gift. When we get there, we're going to spend a little bit more time on your chart because you sent a gift. All right? For everybody else, we're just going to go through these and give you a speed reading. So the next one up is, look who it is. It's your turn. You sent the channel gift. Thank you so much. Do I have your digits, though? That's the thing here. I don't think I have your... Oh, I see. You got them on there. You put them there. Very good. April 5th, 1984, 1010. Okay, let's get your chart. Let's create this for you. I don't know if you said what you wanted me to focus on. Oh man, I need socks on. The air conditioning is bumping. Holy moly. You know how it is, right? You're like all dressed because it's warm. And then the air kicks on and all of a sudden it's like, holy shit. And we are 10:10 a.m. Let's get this going here. And okay, Ireland, but I don't know. Clonmel? Oh, whatever. Excuse my pronunciation. It's like, just pretend that you didn't even hear me say that. Because I am sure that it was like nowhere near how you pronounce it. A-N-D, Ireland. Okay, great. Let's get this. Have you seen your chart before? Let's see if we can get a chart that you're familiar with that looks like yours. This is showing. Let's see if I can get that over there. You are a Gemini on the ascendant. This gives me Gemini at 28. A moon, moon 29 degrees in Taurus. Whoa. A Mercury in Taurus. Ooh, nice. It's way ahead of your sun. That's a benefit. Very big benefit. Wow. A Mercury in Taurus needs help in general, but it's ahead of your sun, so that helps. Your Saturn is a retrograding Saturn, but it is not your great malefic. Your great malefic is your physical body. Yep. Could include your head, your physical body. Okay. Might have to do with digestion, elimination. Okay. Blood. Might be some of those kind of things in there. All right. Your great benefic is Jupiter. And this is sitting in your 7th house of partnerships. Ooh, long-term partnerships. Okay, you got a tricky chart. You got a tricky chart because you have that wonderful long-term energy in your 7th house, which when we have partnerships, we're usually looking for long-term, right? People who we're going to commit to long-term, who's worthy. But you have Saggy at 28 on the descendant. Yeah. They want their freedom. Holy shit. So you have a mixture of both. Okay. Let me have a good look at this. And then I can't remember if you said what you wanted me to focus on. Oh, Ra at 23 in the 2nd house. All right. Let me go to the email real quick. Let me see if you said something about what you want me to focus on. No, it doesn't say. Okay. All right. So this is taking me to your 4th house cusp line. You have Pandora's box at 20 degrees. Oh, interesting. 0 degrees Leo. Oh, wow. Interesting chart, man. Cleopatra at 0 on the 9th house cusp line. Group energy, streaming, spirituality, 0 degrees, astrology, the divine language. Yay, right? You have that there. You have an eclipse exactly on your Pandora's box, which means you have already been in the thick of it with Pandora. This has a lot of heavy karmic stuff. It doesn't have to necessarily be heavy, like as in Saturn heavy. This is more like the past, soul energy, intense. That's probably the better word, intense, because Leo energy can be really optimistic and fun and exciting, very active. Has a positive outlook usually. So home, family, mom, women, nurturing, connected with your 4th house cusp line. This is an eclipse, which would mean a letting go, an ending because there's a new beginning. So this speaks of the wounds of the past for you. But there's a Pandora's box, which means we open up those wounds, which could be psychology. You know, we're sitting down talking to somebody. Some people do like the past life regression stuff, whatever it is. But kind of like opening that bottle, and maybe because it reveals truths, it reveals things that were hidden. You follow? Possibly about home, family, mom, childhood. Leo energy is here. Leo tends to be playful. Sometimes it plays with the body. And unfortunately, Leo energy is, kind of turned into, well, anyway, into some not great things, when you combine adults and children and play, right? You follow where I'm going? I'm not saying this is the fact for you. I'm just looking at your basic chart. There's just wounds here, okay? Vulnerabilities, but it is at a Scorpio degree. Yeah. And we did mention Mars at the first thing in the beginning of this. So your Mars is in Scorpio, right? Wounds to the body. So there's a lot of connections here. And so this would suggest like the transgenerational astrology stuff, which is kind of to carry over. It's not just about what happened from my childhood to now, because look in your chart. If this is you, your moon's at 29 and so is your Chiron. Desire energy, the past. You follow? It's Venus. So it's our cravings. It's, whenever we talk about Taurus and Scorpio, it's about that kind of stuff that sometimes people get in trouble for things, Sometimes it could be someone just can't give up on the honey or can't give up on the chocolate, whatever, right? Shit that's not illegal or shit that's not immoral. We'll put it like that. But other stuff at the big degree, sometimes it goes, it goes deeper. It just does. And that's what Scorpio does really well. It dives super deep. So your Pluto energy also at 1 degree in the physical body right here. Not making it up. It's in the placement of children. It's in the placement of romance. It's just sitting right here. So this is kind of what just is popping out. Now you have the Venus and the Mars that are in a nice trine together. But Venus can be, this is my love language energy. And in Neptune, in Pisces energy, she can be, there's illusions, right? She can be a little dreamy and fantasy and not really sure what love really looks like. Some people think the physical stuff is love, right? So this Venus, her thing is she's going to desire for the make-believe, right? Really creative energy, really creative. And you have a lot of powerful creative energy in your chart. So I hope you're using all that energy. You do have it here. The other thing, too, is you even have Neptune at 1 in the 7th house. So in terms of partnerships, long-term partnerships, Neptune, again, can throw illusions and delusions. The beautiful thing about Neptune and the Pisces energy is that over time, it teaches us to see clearly, to see beyond the confusion. It teaches us to see through the clouds, and it actually gives us really good eyesight eventually, believe it or not. So that's what its job is the make-believe and the fantasy. And can we see through it? Can we see to the truth? So this is in partnerships for you. So I'm repeating things, even though I'm looking at different areas of your chart. What that means is we're establishing themes of your chart. Now, if you have taken this energy and gone a whole different avenue, which is more spiritual or even religious, prayer, meditation, I make music, like we're doing stuff with this kind of energy. Otherwise, if we're not doing something healthy, it can be internal and it can go a lot of different ways. Addictions can arise. There can just be a lot of different avenues that this can take. But in terms of partnerships and stuff oozing from the past and this eclipse, which is kind of how we got here, we have to release the past. There's I'm hearing like the Phoenix Rising stuff. But the only way we can do that is to acknowledge, to see what happened, and to accept it, not saying okay or that it was okay or is okay, but I can no longer, because I'm seeing chains, and if like forgiveness has to be a thing. Once we do that, the chains release, and then we can move on. And so home and family, the future, home, it just depends. Like this mom and nurturing energy, you have a combination of mom and dad energy in the home. You have that both ways, which could mean dad had to play the role of mom and dad, or mom had to play the role of mom and dad. It can go both ways. But this authority figure stuff in relationships, this may spill out, especially if we're having a hard time. Don't know, not saying you are. If we have a hard time in our current relationships, it's because of stuff from the past. And once we learn how to let it go, how to process, forgive, once we get all that done, then it's like we start with a clean slate. And that's what this eclipse wants you to do. It's oozing and praying and saying, let go of the past. Now, can property be a part of this? Yes, because it's the 4th house. So it can even be about property, but stuff about home and the past, mom and dad, and the children type thing, and all the other things I've mentioned. Your chart's interconnected here. All right. The last thing, your Mercury being ahead of your sun. When a Mercury is ahead of a sun in somebody's chart, this enhances their ability to get information ahead of time, which is good. Mercury is information. So yours is connected to home and family. Believe it or not, home, family, nurturing my childhood, can be property, can be ancestry. So when I talked about home and property, possibly ancestry, ancestors, and that actually, there might be something there in terms of money and finances and banking and values and sibling energy connected to all of this. But you getting information ahead of time, all right? Mercury ahead of your sun. And your sun is very optimistic anyway, but quite feisty, by the way. Very feisty. It's connected to Eris, known as the goddess of discord, where if she's angry, she lets everybody know and she's not quiet about it. You have this in your 11th house of shock and surprise. Holy shit. So yeah, this would be interesting energy. This is the lone wolf. This is no one better mess with me. This is like if I get angry, this can be quite, just strong, independent energy, because even your Uranus trines this. Holy shit. I'm the boss of me, damn it. Yeah. So this is really, we should probably, I don't know. Next time you come back, if you have a specific question, because this goes deep, it's all connected. It goes very deep with this Pandora. It's connecting all these little bits and pieces and oozing of the past. So whatever has to be done, even your freaking Venus is at a Venus degree, the degree of desires and attachments, okay? Scorpio, same way, desires and attachments, shared values, Jupiter in the 7th. Like your chart paints that picture. It just does. And once you've elevated that energy, the planets stay the same. But it's not just about me anymore. And I'm taking it to a level where I'm utilizing it. I'm seeing like the path that it took me down. And I'm seeing like a clearer path forward and a better way forward. Like this is what this energy wants you to do. A new beginning with your emotional stability, security, safety, with home and family and mom. Or any significant woman in your life, this would apply for this. So I hope that makes sense. I didn't see a question or anything that you wanted me to point to. So the eclipse definitely jumped out with your 20 degrees Pandora box. And the release, she's, again, kind of like that shit starter energy, but it's about hope at the end of the day with that energy there. And hopefully her, revealing things so that the healing process can complete, and then you can live your life with the chains free, no chains on you. Just remember, it's a process. And that was T. So I'm sorry. That wasn't Anthony. That's the next person. I'm sorry. I have the wrong thing marked on here. That was, there you go. Thank you so much. Yep. I hope that helps. Thank you again for the channel gift. All right. We are moving on. So Ziggy Zig, we got your done. Who's next? Let's see. Take no prisoners. Oh, wait, Tim. What is Tim? I think Tim said he was passing. Oh, we got one right here. October 24th, Liverpool, England, no birth time. Elaine, are you here? Is Elaine here? I think I did it right. Dylan said, I'm 100% here. Oh, that's an old one. I'm sorry. Okay, October 24th, Liverpool, Elaine. Where's Elaine at? Is Elaine in the chat? Okay, Elaine gave me her birth year. Good job, Elaine. Kind of need that. Very good. All right, let's get Elaine in here. Let's get a chart up for Elaine. These are speed readings. Everybody gets a free speed reading. Every now and then someone will send a channel gift, and then I spend a little bit more time on their chart. I just do it according to what the amount of the gift that they send to make it fair. Okay? I mean, people ask this question, and yes, if there's ever a time that you want to do just a private one-on-one, just send me an email. It should be running across the screen in that little screen crawl. Send me an email if you want to set something up, and I'll communicate with you as soon as I'm done with the live stream. All right, so we got October 24th. And we got to create a noon hour chart. Oh, Lord. Oh, sometimes the software gives me a hard time. Ooh, October 24th. I think I have a sibling with that birthday. Or maybe it's my dad. Their birthdays are like 2 days apart, and I always forget which one's which. So we're doing a noon hour chart. And this is going to be Liverpool. Okay. Let me see if that works. Let me see here. All right, let's do this one more time. There we go. Got you for the noon hour. And so if you ever get your birth digits, if you ever get your birth time, come on back and let me know to update that for you in the system. Let's get that off the screen so we can see what's what. Yeah, where did I put that? Oh, my Lord. There it is. Okay, I need a sip of water. All right, so Elaine, your chart is showing we have a Capricorn moon. Is that you, Capricorn moon? Scorpio at 0 degrees, Scorpio sun, Capricorn moon. You could be, depending upon when you were born, you could be a Capricorn moon or an Aquarius moon. Very different energy. Capricorn is tried, true, and tested tradition. Very competitive. Corporations, yeah. Building for the long-term financial security. Aquarius thinks outside of the box. It's quite rebellious. It says screw tradition. These are the trendsetters. Aquarius energy says you're not the boss of me, damn it. Yeah. Aquarius is very different. Aquarius is going to need unconventional energy. Unconventional friends would be important to an Aquarius moon. Friends in general. Group energy, humanitarian energy. Very intellectually creative. Very fast mind normally. So yeah. Figuring out a moon could help pinpoint a birth time for folks. So just kind of keep that in mind. And you have a lot of energy in Libra, so it would trine a lot of your Aquarius stuff, which would be nice. Okay, so we have a wound in values a wound, money, desire, cravings even. Yeah. Self-worth even. There's a wound here. That's just the first thing that popped out. I think this has jumped out so large because you have right now Chiron at the lower degrees in Taurus. I mean, we all do, but you also have a Chiron in Taurus in the higher degrees. So this comes down to, I mean, I don't know if anybody else has noticed with the Chiron when it started its retrograde. Does anybody know? Because Venus is all about the sweets and things being, smell good, look good, taste good, feels good, right? That's all Venus energy. Money in the bank, right? She likes her worldly treasures. She likes to accumulate those things, right? But farming and food, nature is a big deal with Taurus energy as well. And self-worth connected to all those things. So my income and how I receive love, how I receive valuables. Your Venus is your love language at 28. She's in partnerships here. Interesting. You have Pluto right there. Whoa. Okay. So real quick, when you have your partnerships with the Pluto energy, it talks about change. There's always going to be changes in love in these committed relationships. Because we don't know what house this is in, there's a connection, possibly working with the public, possibly working with people one-on-one. That's possible. But when there's this change here, it says that even in committed relationships, there's an expectation of evolution and growth. You follow? There's just it's intense energy. It's very deeply meaningful energy. There's a desire for that, and the Pluto brings it. So if you're in a relationship with love, you're going to have that expectation because Pluto demands that. A very intense bond. So whatever you put out, you would expect back easily. Even though this is in the sign of balance and equality and fairness, right? But there's nothing, Pluto is, not balanced. It is just intense for real. But it wants to see growth. That would be really important to it. So your love language talks about someone you could probably grow with, and you could probably see that possibility. And if that's not part of the picture for you, because the meaningfulness has to be there, the depth has to be there. And you have Jupiter in Scorpio, more depth. But this is wisdom energy. This is the future, deeply bonded. And so this Jupiter can bring you lots of opportunities for deeply bonded relationships. And we have no way of knowing. We have no way of knowing what your great benefic is because we need to have a birth time to see that. That's where the birth times really would be important. But a 0 degrees sun in Scorpio at 0, these are intense people. These are warriors, okay? These are people who've gone to battle, who have the scars. This is trauma, tragedy. These are the deep people. This is the depth. This is Pluto energy. Pluto rules Scorpio. These people are not surfacey at all. Whatever they do, whatever they talk about, they always are on a mission. They need a mission. And if they don't have a mission, they create a mission. And that's with everybody's Mars energy as well. And you have Mars and Saggy. This is on the constant search and the constant seeking. Higher knowledge, higher wisdom, higher education, preaching, teaching, spirituality, God. That's all big there. And according to this, it's at that degree of meditation, of prayer. Every time I see Saggy with Mars, active Mars, sometimes these people they travel a lot. They're willing to travel a lot. They are antsy. They need to travel. They need to explore. They need to go on an adventure. Holy hell. When I say the need thing, it means they can get easily frustrated. And if they don't have those missions that they can be on, they will find that they create, I don't want to call them an instigator, but they can kind of be instigators. And they may not realize it. And it's basically because they're bored, because they need a mission. They need a challenge. They just need that kind of energy. So without having a cusp line and seeing how all these things line up and where they line up, yeah, it makes it hard to be specific as far as, yeah, the other things. So at least I hope some of that made sense. Get your birth time and come back and we can add it to your chart. Okay. So Elaine, we're done with Elaine. We're going on to the next one. Woohoo, we're moving on here. Carrie, 354. Are you here at Elaine? Awesome. I am also, oh, you all were talking. Okay. So October 24th, St. Priest, France, 520. Oh, you have a birth time. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Interesting. Oh, Dylan. Dylan, were you giving me a birth time? It's at 8 p.m. I checked with my mom. Oh, well, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that later on. All right. So, Carrie, are you here? And is that you? October 24th, St. Priest, France, 5:25 p.m. Same year. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Elaine says, I'll never find out my birth time. Well, Elaine, hopefully when I spoke about the moon, whether you're a Capricorn moon or whether you're a moon in Aquarius, that would even help. If you can just figure out that about yourself, that would help a lot. Okay, so let's get Carrie's chart in here, 1982. Let's create this. Okay. Okay, it's nice to not have to change all that. And we have a 5:25 p.m. And all right. Okay, let's go. So let's see what we got here. Have you seen your chart before? Let me pin that one. This is showing Taurus on the ascendant at 18 degrees. And a Capricorn moon at 27. So we see a lot of the same similarities. Yeah, Mars conjunct Neptune. That can be tricky. Okay, this is a Mercury way behind the sun. Venus and Mercury born behind the sun. Okay. Okay. Venus at 28. Yeah, okay. So you heard me say it is the same stuff, right? Venus conjunct Pluto energy, and yours is in the house of domestic energy, home, and health. Things have to probably be just right. This can be tricky having a Venus at that degree because she has a lot of power. Perfection might be a thing that Venus goes to, okay? In the home, domestic. It can be within relationships, of course. And this can even be because Venus in Libra definitely wants things to be beautiful. You know, things should be straightened out because it's in the placement of Virgo. So it should be neat. There's a place for everything, I think, for every place. Cleanliness is connected to godliness and beauty and perfection, that whole kind of thing. You do have quite a bit in the Libran energy. So sometimes, you know, this would be great energy if you were doing this for a job and getting paid, to have that eye for the detail, for things being, harmonious and beautiful. Symmetry. Yeah, that would be wonderful. But again, there's still going to be that intense power in relationships. You might even experience power plays, whether you pull them on other people or people pull them on you, but a deep commitment and needing to see that people are willing to grow and change and that they are doing it, as opposed to sometimes people kind of just get stuck and you don't see that process of change and growth happening. And so we're like, oh God, it's time to move on. Because remember, this chart, you're showing Scorpio on the descendant. Well, that's more Pluto energy. So even though it's Scorpio on the descendant, you have Sagittarius also in your 7th house. So again, this is tricky energy because Sagittarius is very independent, yet Scorpio is like very energetically bonded, physically bonded. We're bonded by the past. We're bonded by our souls. Like we're bonded. But yet here's this whole freedom loving. I need my independence, right? Sagittarius energy. I need to go be able to roam. I need to explore. So it can just be tricky. It doesn't mean you can't be in committed relationships. It just means that there might be times where you have to kind of juggle that. Think about that moon at that 27, home and family moon energy, right? Working on the long-term goals. This combination for people who have a moon in Capricorn, mom can, take on a role of dad figure. Dad can take on the role of mom energy. Moon is in my emotions, my family. In Capricorn, sometimes these folks deal with depression. They go through those, from being very cold and detached and rigid. But the moon's opposite. Like that's all Capricorn energy, really serious and even heavy and dark. But the moon wants to be nurturing and sensitive and warm. So it's like, it's a mix, like they're awkward together, right? And so some people experience it as a swing. And so that can be tricky when you have it like that and it's receiving a square, right? My emotions, my Saturn energy, my values, my relationships, the meaningfulness, my goals, my work, my career, all angles the moon and the home energy and mom energy. So that can be connected to a mother wound, which could be anything. My mother, my ability to be a mom, right? How I am being a mom or whatever mom's ancestral wounds with long-term goals and legacy energy. Like this can be any of that. So stress and tension. And interesting thing, you also have a wound connected here, of course, 26 degrees that trines that moon. So again, the past and history, but Venus comes up again when we have a Chiron. And for you, we see this is in your 1st house. If all the digits are correct, 5:25 p.m., St. Priest, France, October 24th, 1982. This has to do with appearance, my physical body, my appearance. So your sense of self-worth, being connected to how I appear. And this is in your brain. This is in your head, right? This is your association to that. And your emotions being directly connected to it. Big time. You see this? So health is a big deal. Health comes up, physical body comes up, balance, and a constant journey seeking of balance, big time, with all that Libran energy. Okay. We are moving on. Take no prisoners is here. Hey, hope all is well with everyone. All right, let me scroll past that comment because I don't know. Okay. We're doing good. Take no prisoners. How are you? All right, the next name with digits is Jeggy P. I wanted to say Peggy, but it's Jeggy. Wayne, New Jersey, November 29th, 1999. Are you there, Jaggy? Is Jaggy still here, or are we scrolling on? Jaggy says I'm here. All right, great. All right, Jaggy, let's get your chart drawn up then. Since it is your turn, you are next. Let me get that clicked on there. Let's get this. Let's get you some digits here. And let's see what we can see really quickly. Remember, these are free readings. Free readings. Every now and then somebody will send a gift. You know, sometimes people want me to spend more time on their chart, and that's fine. The payment apps are right under the live stream if you're thinking about doing that. And if you can't do that, don't worry about it. You get a speed reading. All right. So we're talking November 29th, 1999, 5:28 a.m. And we got Wayne, New Jersey. All righty. Have you seen your chart before? Here's your chart. Scorpio on the rising. And Scorpio rising with a Virgo moon. Wow, a lot of Earth moons today, right? 17 degrees on the ascendant. Mercury right there. You see that? Is that right? Virgo moon at 0. Whoa. Virgo moon. Oh my God. How do you deal with perfection? Is that a thing for you? Oh, look at anything about job and career. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Well, that's interesting because your midheaven's at 28 degrees in Leo. So your moon's not far from that. Boss energy. Big deal here. You even have fated energy that trines your moon, trines your midheaven. Jupiter and Saturn at 3 degrees. Interesting. Okay, so 20 degrees, not a thing. 4 degrees, not a thing. Yeah, you got Jupiter going through your 9th house. You also have right now the South Node sitting right there at your midheaven, which would suggest a release of some sort, a release of a goal. This can be release of a job. Maybe that already happened. It's a possibility. You know, sometimes we can just be, our department gets eliminated. Maybe we still work for the same company, but we're doing something different because jobs, tasks, daily routines, that's that Virgo energy. And the nodes had been going through your 10th house for the last 18 months. Yeah. So in terms of that, I don't know if you said that this is your chart. That would be pretty important, especially when someone's asking a question about job and career, which means you want me to look at something. Job issues and struggles. Okay. I just want to go back to the chat to see. Okay. Yeah, you had the South Node going through that 10th house boss energy, right? Okay, so I'm back on the chart. So now, so you're agreeing then that, yeah, this is your chart. Okay. All right, so what we're going to see is there can be, when you get that sun at your midheaven, that can be beautiful. because that would be recognition. Career, recognition. And look, see how it happens for you? Look at this. Yeah, it's nice. So this is like not very far away. August 14th, 13th, 15th, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually, well, let's go a little bit closer. Let me see what you got over here in fire energy. Okay, you got the Pluto down there. No wonder. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, and you're going to have Mercury trining your second house cusp line. Oh, I like this for you. So yeah, August 16th, 17th, 18th. I like this for you a lot. Jupiter is part of the story here, but Jupiter isn't your great benefic. That's the only thing where I'm like, but your natal Jupiter is part of this story. Your natal Jupiter trines your midheaven. That would probably explain why going through job stuff. You have a grand fire trine. And because of this grand fire trine in your natal chart, otherwise you would have long moved on or just, it would have been over. But this fire trine really keeps supporting what you're doing because it's so damn strong. It's got 25 degrees all the way up and down. It's just really strong. So with that energy and the sun and the south node and Jupiter and Mercury, they're all connecting in some strong ways at this time. Again, August 16th, 17th, 18th. It's trine energy, so it suggests it can be good news. So I don't, know what you would consider good news exactly, but start really paying attention. August 15th, 14th, 15th. Start really paying attention about what you're hearing about. Information about the future, maybe about a boss, because on that day, we're going to have Jupiter and Mercury conjunct. Long-term goals in the job, and it trines your Pluto. You follow? Big connections happening here. So it's a lot of information about the future, big time, because it's Sagittarius, it's your Jupiter, it's fire, which says there's probably going to be some new things. And Mercury usually suggests decisions and choices. Okay. And then your midheaven lighting up, which means recognition. So I don't know if you're looking to get like a promotion or if you're looking to get rid of a boss, like, God, I need a new boss, or if you're just, wanting some recognition, but of course a raise of, anything that would include a boost in the income. Mercury trining your Pluto, and then, the sun and Mercury, a nice trine to your place of money and income. And like, that to me can be super beneficial, especially since you have supportive trine energy all the way around this. Yeah. So I think this looks good. Let us know. All right, we're moving on. Next up, let me go find that. Okay, I'm in New Jersey, hot and humid. Okay. Watkinson, it's your turn. This is my daughter's chart asking why she has been so emotional the last few days. Oh, well, I can probably answer that without even looking at her chart. But we can pull her chart up because you're next. And let's pull her chart up and let's see what kind of examples on paper we can see. But we're in some intense energy that started this week. So Watkinson, we're going to put I'll just put Watkinson daughter, okay? And then we have, is that December 5th, 2016? And I have 4:52 a.m. All right, and we're looking at Woodbridge, Virginia. Did I spell that right? Yeah. Virginia. Here we go. Have you seen her chart before? Oh, I hope they're not giving me a hard time. December 5th, 4:52 a.m. Is that right? December 5th, 4:52 a.m. December 5th, 2016, Woodbridge, Virginia. This is showing a Scorpio rising. Let me get it on the screen. Too funny, right? Calling all Scorpios. Scorpio risings. Scorpio at 16 degrees. Moon. Ooh. Moon at 19 degrees. Holy hell. Did you know that your daughter has a Mars and Moon connected? Holy hell. In Aquarius. Wow. And it's trined by Jupiter. Wow. That's a lot to deal with. Just right there. So, is this her chart? I'm just saying. Oh no, is Watkinson even here? I'm sorry. You know, when I read the chat, I don't realize that there's like 3 more pages of chats underneath that. And I'm like, okay, hey, Watkinson, are you here? I don't think Watkinson's here. Hello. All right, well, then we're going to scroll on. I'll save this for her for another time so she can understand it. Maybe she didn't want to wait. Maybe she's here. Maybe she hasn't heard me ask. Be honest, is my chart tragic? Last summer, I lost my job of 7 years and it destabilized my entire life. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because you had, like I said, you had the nodes going through 18 months, home and career. Yeah. So is Watkinson here? No, Watkinson didn't respond. All right, we're moving on. Next name. Sometimes this can go really fast. People just don't have the patience, or they have shit to do, or both. All right, so we're going to get this off the screen, but okay, we got Carrie done. Yeah, birthday twins, right? Take no prisoners. I see you now. There we go. Take no prisoners. You're next. Are you here? Thank you for answering the question, Tim. I see you answered her question. Yeah, as long as it's her child. You know, that's different. That's a parent. You know, that to me, yeah, it just has a whole different feeling to it. It's a concerned parent. So where are we at? Take no prisoners. Are you here? Oh, you're here. Good job for waiting. It's your turn. Take no prisoners. Good job. All right, let's get you up on the chart. All righty. And we have a September 5th, 1983. Let's change that year. And you have 10:55 a.m. Did I read that right? Yeah. Have you seen your chart before? Flemington. I got to get my dyslexic crap under control here. He always wants to spell this shit backwards. New Jersey. All right, we're working on it. All right, let's take a look at this. You let me know. Let me move this comment. We're getting there. Okay, we're going to go like that. All right, take no prisoners. Here you are. I don't think I've seen yours before. Your moon jumped out right away. Leo moon at 21 degrees. That jumped right off the page. No wonder. There's an eclipse here. Not sure if you knew that. Is this your chart? It says you have a Leo moon at 21, Scorpio on the ascendant. Calling all Scorpios. And, Mercury at 0 in Libra. Wow, what a chart. A retrograding Venus in Leo. Wow, okay. Mars in Leo. Holy hell. A lot of Leo energy happening for you. So you have Jupiter. Wow, Jupiter right now is sitting right here on Sekhmet. Well, actually, I think Jupiter clicked to 9 already. Let me see. My brain, is it at 9 already? No, it's still at 8. Okay, my brain's ahead of schedule. It's at 8. Yeah, you have Jupiter. Information, knowledge, spirituality, Egyptian energy. Do you feel that? The thing is, it was connected to Pandora's box at 7. Your Sekhmet is out of bounds, which means she's really powerful, very internal. It's kind of got a Scorpio vibration to it at the Scorpio degree. This is really interesting. So this is an Egyptian goddess. She is the daughter of the sun god Ra. She's a warrior. She's the goddess of medicine. This is about learning from and being transformed by experiences of transformation, change, and death. They speak about it as a cleansing through suffering, leading to healing and a rebirth. So you have Jupiter right there. So this can be with children and romance, wounds of the past. This is located in your 9th house of the beliefs about those things. Authority figures can be part of this, can be dad energy connection. But the past, there's something here about the past because there's trauma and wounds and vulnerabilities connected. You do have Taurus. First of all, before I go any further, take no prisoners. I think I just started going crazy on your chart. Did you say if this was you? I just started going crazy. Okay, so she said, yes, I have. Okay, great. Okay, good. All right, then I'm going to let it roll. I'm letting it rip. Yeah. All right, Virgo at 12. Even that speaks of perfection, but hopefully on a higher level of spirituality, of divinity, because it's at that degree. Literally, it's at that degree, Virgo. Yeah. Things have to be just right. But yours is in a very interesting location. It's on that 11th house cusp line of friends and group energy, humanitarian energy, but it's also in the location of career. It's in between both houses. So career, this can be nursing, taking care of others. Just, sometimes people use the Virgo energy in the service industry. I have a friend with a ton of Virgo and she cleans homes. But along with cleaning homes, she's extended it to really doing whatever the hell they need. Honestly, they go out of town. She watches their pets. She'll stop in and feed them, blah, 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 take them out for a walk. She does a little bit of caregiving. I mean, she's really used the Virgo energy in that way for a job. Like she's become, because Virgo is, remember, Mercury's the ruler. So it says, well, I can do more than one thing, right? There's more than one way to do that. I can do more than one thing. It's like it walks in and it says, how can I make this better? How can I improve upon something? And it's service in a very one-on-one way, yet yours has the capacity to also be for the group. So I like that yours has that capacity to grow and expand. With that said, contract energy, Mercury at 0. Wow. Okay, so did she have like an exact thing here that she said? Because I don't know why. All right, well, we're going with what jumped out. That eclipse energy. Moon, family, home, mom, mothering, nurturing, children. Jupiter degree, my beliefs about the future of home and family and mom. Maybe my beliefs about the future of me being a mom, my beliefs about the future in terms of career, big time. Career. Boss energy even. But again, this is another big chart that has a mixture of mom and dad energy combined together here as a long-term goal and building for my future. Really creative energy. It's Leo. It's the authority figure. I step up. I am in charge. You even have 10 degrees at your midheaven. And there's no messing around because you have Mars here. So you don't just talk about it. You be about it. You are it. Mars is taking action. So this is highly performative energy. I love that it's in the 10th house for the Mars because it can make it quite disciplined, which is awesome. Instead of Mars being like this, loose cannon or something, but it needs a challenge. It handles the challenge. Keep in mind, it's connected to your 6th house of work, income, domestic energy, and job. That's even at 11 degrees. Again, friends and group energy comes up again for you. Technology might be a thing. You have that in the 2nd house of income, using technology, and you have Jupiter there, the future. Travel, maybe. Publishing, maybe. Wow, interesting chart. Interesting chart. Scorpio on the ascendant with a Saturn there. So Jupiter is your great benefic in your chart, okay? Jupiter at 3 degrees, talking, preaching, teaching, learning, higher education, publishing. Yeah, you have a lot of group energy in a lot of ways, maybe even senior citizens, the elderly, there might be something there. But absolutely streaming, that's for damn sure, because your node's even at 21. So with all these connections that I'm making to figure out where's what and how does it come across, the eclipse energy and the release and the let go pertains to home and family and your career. What are your goals for your future? You might be changing your dreams about those goals for your future. Maybe you're changing a boss. Maybe you don't want to be the boss. Maybe you're going to be the boss. It's all triggered here. And a chart like this, you have a lot of support. You have a lot of fire support. You even have a lot of earth support, like matching degrees in all 3 earth signs. You have that. And you even have 13-5. Yeah, the 8-8 Lions Gate for you. That's coming forward kind of strongly. That's going to be, that's going to be a big thing in terms of your Mars being part of it and starting over. You're starting over with something. And if you're not starting over, you feel like you're starting over. And this is in the placement of career or maybe boss, new boss. But communication, talking, learning is all here. Okay. So information and downloads coming through about the future. Pay attention on Sunday and Monday. Pay extra attention for yourself in terms of all that. All right. We're moving on. Let me see. That was Take No Prisoners. I got all these marks, all these charts marked. What time is it? Okay, we're moving on. Did that one. Watkinson didn't stick around. Who's after Take No Prisoners? Okay, we're moving down the line here to... All right, we did Elaine. Rebecca. Is Rebecca here? Rebecca. This says December 16th, 1990, 3:33 a.m. Sagittarius, Apple Valley, California. Are you here, Rebecca? Rebecca? Hello. What do you think? All right. If Rebecca's not here, we're going to move on. All righty, let's see who's next in the line here. These are free readings. And as soon as I get another name here with a birth, with all the birth digits, we're going to... I see News Girl. Hey, Steffi G, how are you? I see you there. Starry Rumors. Kelly, what's going on, Kelly? Love B, how are you, Love B? Oh, thank you so much, Tim. I know this was like an hour ago. I think I went back too far. Hey, Donna Marie, how you doing, healing readings? Or how about we do this? Let's take a roll call. I see we have Tim. Vanessa says, I'm here. News Girl said, I'm here. Take No Prisoners says, I paid too much attention. That's that Saggy. Well, that's a lot of things, actually. But you have a lot of focus energy in your chart. Sagittarius is the laser beam. So, Vanessa, I know you're saying you're here. If I don't have your digits, I keep scrolling. So make sure. Or if I do have them, you have to remind me that I have them. Otherwise, I just scroll past the names that don't have digits. You follow? Okay. What about this one? April 13th, 1976, 8:40 a.m., Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm just trying to see. That one might be really old. I appreciate it, Tim. All right, let me scroll down and see you. Let's see who's here. Oh, Amy Holmes says I'm here. Oh, thank you. That'll help. Good job. News Girl said I'm here. You're welcome, Take No Prisoners. Okay, so we're going to... All right, let's get Amy's chart up in here. Amy Holmes. All right, so... And we have April 13th, 1976. I think I have a sibling, April 13th. 8:40 a.m. Awesome. Birth time and everything. Manchester. Have you seen your chart before? Great. Okay, let's see what we can see here. Job related. Okay. Thank you for the 1 or 2 words. Perfect. All right, let me click on that and go like that. And let's take a look. So if this is you, this is showing Gemini on the ascendant at 24 degrees. And your moon is down there. Moon in Libra at 10 degrees. Job related. Yeah. Well, 10 degrees is career, job related. But anyway, that's your moon. That's in relationships, relationship energy. Wow. You have a Jupiter and a Mercury conjunct in Taurus. Okay. With Isis. Sedna there. Yeah. Sedna. All righty. Oh, Pallas Athena at 1. She's making a plan. All right, you got Mars over here. So your Jupiter is your great benefic. And that's right there in money and income, home, family, women. Do you work from home? Do you want to work from home? Do you work in tech? Do you want to work with tech or remotely? Because really 11th house, 11 degrees is working on my computer, right? Group energy. This is what's in this chart anyway, if this is you. This is just your basic birth chart. So that matters because we kind of got to see what's going to get activated here. You have Jupiter at the opposite of your Uranus retrograding in Scorpio. Whoa. I like the mini trine you have though. 0 degrees, 4th house cusp line, which means a 0 degree midheaven. Wow. Creative energy can be institutional energy, healing energy, hospital energy, government energy, 0 degrees at the midheaven. Okay. So earth and water are supporting each other here. Pallas Athena right there. Nice trine. Retrograding Uranus. Kind of a wobbly trine to your midheaven. But it definitely is trining this Humeya at 3 degrees. Communications, talking, home, family, property, housing. Okay, so great benefic is Jupiter. Well, Jupiter has its little journey through your 3rd house right now. And it's sitting here on Sisyphus, which has that feeling of starting over energy or going back to square one again. However you want to look at it. This is talking and communications, can be in writing. 3rd house is, we're going on interviews. Communications, networking, 3rd house, business, 3rd house. You have really creative energy here. And this gives you a high intellect, your mind energy, really fast. Should be a good communicator, strong communication skills, but it is tricky when Mercury is in Taurus. You do have your Mercury way ahead of your Sun, and when people have that, they have a quicker mind than usual. They get information ahead of time, plus yours is conjunct Jupiter. Almost, where you definitely might know some things ahead of time. That's a damn good possibility. You have your nodes at 12, very psychic energy. So, Jupiter, your great benefic, sitting right here. A lot going on here. 8 degrees, starting over again. 9 degrees is about my future, my creative future. Hopefully you're using that, but boss energy. It's boss. So whether you're going to get a new boss, whether you're looking to be the boss, remember, this is the house of communications, okay? Creative communications, powerful communications. And you have a nice, strong trine with a lot of fire energy up here for career. So, starting over, this is in your 11th house of gains, which means friends. You can have benefits that come through friends. It can, of course, benefits online energy, 11th house, but relating with those individuals and connecting in that way. There may be some good news, some good information that comes because we have so much that's going through the Leo energy in general that's going to connect to all the stuff you have in fire over here. Your Venus, your money, your income, your Venus. You follow? So there can be some good news coming is what that means. And you might start hearing some good news. Venus opposing Venus. Yeah, this might be a good time even. Not far away. Oh, wow. Okay, so you have Pluto trining that 5th house. Okay. Children, fun, joy, creativity, but it's relationships, significant one-on-one relationships. But then Venus comes through. The only thing about this is that Venus is not your great benefic, but she does rule all your Taurus energy up here in the location of beneficial energy, the angelic realm, friends in high places, the house of gains. Okay, so I'm kind of optimistic about this for you. So maybe it's good news. Maybe it's connecting with somebody else who can lead you down another path, connecting you with somebody else. But keep the optimism open and on the table, which Leo definitely is optimistic. So that's good. And you have Jupiter going through there. It should bring you opportunities, maybe travel. Not sure if you're open to that, but travel can, yeah, that might be part of this. Because it's Jupiter. Higher learning, higher education, teaching. So this is like August 9th. It's not far away. It's not far away at all. You have Pisces at your midheaven, and we're going to have an eclipse. We're having an eclipse. The second eclipse for August is at 4 degrees of Pisces. So no doubt that's already been a thing for you with partnerships, domestic partnerships, maybe job, because you had something right at 3. And that could have been a release and a let go because it was a lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. So, yeah, just be open to the Jupiter energy because that's your great benefic. If you're open to travel and moving, and Jupiter can be airplane stuff. Okay. So just keep that in mind. You might, it's funny because it's Jupiter in the house of local travel, which suggests I'm traveling, but not like super far. I don't know. I mean, you could drive coast to coast if you're in the States. You can go coast to coast, and that's pretty damn far, right? Absolutely. But Saggy Jupiter energy likes to go on road trips type of thing, but typically airplanes. So you'll have new opportunities coming, and as long as you're open to those new opportunities, then I think you'll do fine. Okay. We are moving on. Who was next? Let me see where I got you clipped at here. Let me see if I thought I marked it. Oh, I did. Okay. So, hello. Hey, Teamwork. How are you? Didn't see you there. Teamwork's like waving, like, hello. What's up, Teamwork? All right. So we're going until we got a chart that has a name that has, here's somebody, no digits. Hello. Hello. Just wanted to say I love when people become curious about their own charts. I know, right? It sparks another level of learning. Absolutely. That is what it's all about. Thank you for sharing that comment. That's awesome. I feel the same exact way. Man, if everybody did that, holy shit. The world would just be so different. Absolutely. I truly, truly believe that. Wow, Take No Prisoners got a lot of comments here. Tim, okay. Newsy. Oh. So it looks like the next name that's coming up is News Girl. I think you're the next one. And I know I have your digits. Are you still here? Is News Girl here? Amy Holmes says, thank you. You're welcome. I work in transportation. Well, I'd say you're in the right job then. Although Jupiter is also, that figures you have Jupiter right next to Mercury in your chart. Oh my God, my housemates are so loud. Lots of fire, yeah. So Jupiter can be judges, the boss energy, interpreters, right? They going on that adventure, publishing, teachers, preachers. Like that energy for you, especially in the 11th house. 11th house, other than, house of gains. The 11th house is information comes through like a lightning bolt. Like we're getting like direct downloads. It's technology. So we get downloads here, So there can be a lot of fascinating stuff there. News Girl is not here? Okay. So it looks like Vanessa, it might be your turn since News Girl didn't answer. But let's see. Let me back up and let me see who goes after News Girl. Yes, Vanessa, you'll be after News Girl if News Girl doesn't answer. And again, I'm looking at names, but if you don't have your digits, then I'm going to keep scrolling. Okay, News Girl's there with her digits again, and I know I already have those in. Tim said, hi, my date of birth is... My name is... Oh, that was nice of Tim. Was I not seeing Vanessa's digits? Oh, I'm so sorry, Vanessa. Did Vanessa have her digits up higher and I didn't see them? That's a good possibility. Every now and then I'm scrolling to catch up and I might have scrolled past Vanessa. Vanessa, are you still here? Vanessa's like, this lady, she just refuses to read for me. No, it would just be it would be an honest mistake, truly. Just going too fast. Yeah, I'm re-scrolling, Vanessa. I didn't see that you had your digits up here anywhere. 3:37 p.m. That was a half hour after I got here, and I didn't see your digits. Weird. Okay. News Girl is here. I want to know how the eclipse will affect me. I know the basics of my chart. Okay, News Girl. Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah. Good job. You waited. All right, let's get it in. Yeah, let me get this chart pulled up. Remember, these are free chart readings. These are free chart readings. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Unless you've sent a gift to the channel, everybody gets a free speed reading. Okay. And Saturday night, this Saturday, while I'm looking for News Girl's chart here, we have an astrology class. So we won't be on the live stream doing this on Saturday night. We do an astrology class the second Saturday of every single month of the year. Okay. If you're interested on that, send me an email if you want to be involved in it. And I'll send you the digits. I'll send you the details, the digits. I'll send you the details. All right, let's see where the heck is News Girl on here. I'm in the ends. There she is. Let's get that up here. There we go. There we go. Let's get that off there. Yeah, News Girl, I got you on the screen. I see that you're here. News Girl said, do you see I'm here? I see you, News Girl. I see you. You said, I want to know how the eclipse will affect me. And that's what we're going to look at. All right. So News Girl has, the eclipse is at 20 degrees in Leo. News Girl has nothing there. Nothing at 20 degrees in Leo, but she does have a Mars at 17. That's 3 degrees away. Let's see if you have anything at the opposition of the eclipse. You do not. And in studying eclipses, that's all you need to look at is the conjunction and the opposition. Now, you do have Mars here. And normally it's a 2-degree orb for the eclipse. 2 degrees before, 2 degrees after. I can't remember what I said about the orb in the video. There might be something else funky up in the sky. So let's flip on it right now and go there. Just to take a peek and see. And oh, Isis will be there. Isis will be on the Mars. Okay, so that's part of the eclipse then. Your physical body, your appearance. You're releasing something, but yet you're bringing in something new. It's an eclipse that brings about something material and tangible. It's a solar eclipse. But because it's a south node solar eclipse, it requires a release. Because it's in your first house, it has to do with how you creatively express, but are visually, physically seen, how you radiate and stand out. Do people look at you as though, do they like, what's your personality? How colorful and bright and bold is it? Do you enhance it by your clothing, by your hair? Is there something you're going to change? Some people cut their damn hair, right? Color their hair. They release something. They're like, I'm not wearing glasses anymore. This is all purely physical. You follow? It's just about you and your physical appearance. Now, it does include Mars, which is your body and your head. So that's why I said hair for head, and anything that has to do with the head, visually, the appearance. Now, is there anything that, let me see, 17, because Mars can be the physical body in terms of my actions and my well-being of my physical body. So let me see if you have natally anything, let me see, your malefic is Saturn. So Venus is your great benefic, which means Mars is not your malefic. So that's a good indicator, meaning it's a change that you're likely going to be making on your own. And you probably already have started this, just so you know. Yeah. It might have to do with something you have, making you to feel like a kid again. Maybe you'll be more physical even. That's a possibility because it's at a very physical degree, very active. It's at a Leo degree. But me looking like a boss even, strong energy for that here with the Leo energy. Very communicative. But by the way that I express and radiate. Individuality, uniqueness, my personality coming forward. Some folks have to release their old personalities because it's a release to bring in something new. With the Leo energy, especially in the first house, a strong expression possibly about how I identified before. And maybe you feel different. Maybe you don't feel like you're that same person. Like you need a different set of skin even, right? And so there might be choices you're making literally with how you appear to match this new identity that for all of us in a way we have to kind of take on. It's really a big new beginning. So that's how it's going to affect you. That's it. That's the eclipse in your first house. All right? And it does relinquish something of the past. And I know that your Venus squares it. So on that day of the eclipse, you might feel a little something, some stress and tension with shared values in the home even. Bonded energy, deep, intense bonded energy, because you have a Venus at 20, okay? Boss energy might be a thing, but there may also be some confusion because you have a midpoint at 20 degrees in Jupiter and Neptune I'm staring at. And that can be fantasy, my dreams about the future, right? So because it's angling your physical body and it's part of this eclipse, maybe you are taking on more of a dreamy appearance, right? Movie star type of stuff. And it could be done in a very tiny way. A little color here, a little color there. It doesn't have to be something huge and drastic. Or it could go that route. Because at the opposite of Leo is Aquarius energy. You don't have anything at the degrees at all. But if we're trying to impress others, 7th house energy, Aquarius energy, then we might do things that are different and unconventional and surprising to make that impression, because it comes down to your Venus and her values and you feeling emotionally safe and secure and stable. But deeply bonded energy is definitely here. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So at this time, it's 5:16. What I'm going to put in the chat is yeah, we're going to go like that. And let's see who's next. So for you in your first house, yeah, it's about self and your values of your own self. All right. Vanessa, you're next. And Tim went ahead and put you in there. Tim said, date of birth, December 10th, 1968, 4:57 p.m., Columbia, Missouri, for Vanessa. Vanessa, are you here? Thank you so much for helping out, Tim. Vanessa, did you leave? Tim's like, Vanessa. Is Vanessa here? Maybe Vanessa left? Sometimes it's delayed. Oh, there she is. There's Vanessa. Yay, we got it. Vanessa, it's your turn. I'm going to get your chart up in here. And we have closed the queue. I put it in the chat. So if anybody enters digits after where I posted, the queue is closed. I just want to give people a heads up so that people aren't. I mean, we'll be back again. You know, if I don't get to you, come on back. These are free speed readings. If you're somebody who's, seriously wants me to look at your chart, you could always email me. Or you could send a gift to the channel, even here in the chat. But those are for names that are already in the queue. And then I spend more time on your chart. But everybody gets a free speed reading. All right, that's how we're doing it. I got to learn how to spell Vanessa's name. Oh, we'll just do 5381. That'll work. And we have December 10th, 1968. And we've got 4:57 p.m. Columbia. Oh, man, my feet are freezing. Columbia, Missouri. O-U-R-I. There we go. Oh, thank you. The software finally got on the ball. Vanessa, have you seen your chart before? Okay, this is showing Gemini on the ascendant. And you have a Leo moon. So you have the eclipse occurring on your 4th house cusp line, Vanessa, and your moon is part of it as well. Huh. Okay. Interesting. It's part of a grand fire trine that you have in your chart all the time. Wow. Okay, great. So yeah. Vanessa, is this your chart? Let me move that. Oh, it's not blocking it. Okay. Vanessa, did you say if you've seen your chart before? I'm here. Yes. Sending donation, News Girl. Thank you so much, News Girl. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Heard everything, Pluto. Oh, good. Had to let go. Yeah. Boundaries, stop people pleasing. Yeah. "24 degrees, home and family." And this could mean a change in the home. in terms of family itself is changing, literally, like the dynamics of family. It could mean property has changed, like I moved or I'm going to, because it requires a let go. But it does promise a new beginning. It's bringing something tangible in because it's a solar eclipse. This might be kind of dreamy energy too. Your moon's at 24. A dreamy home. I've always dreamed of this kind of a home, that kind of a home, or this kind of a family. Strong mom energy, by the way. And with Leo there, sometimes this, for some folks, who knows? I've got folks who are taking on grandchildren, raising grandchildren, that kind of a thing comes into play. The dynamics changing in that way where it's, let me see where's that do-over energy, if you have that. But you have this wonderful trine, and travel is part of this, and partnerships, and Sirius, family energy and nurturing comes up again. And your sun, Saggy, in the 7th, if this is you. Okay, boss energy on the descendant. Oh, with Sekhmet there. Wow. Yeah. So you see, you have a big grand fire trine at the 20 degrees with job, career, financial security, long-term stuff, very independent energy with the Saggy moon in terms of work, maybe health involved, possibly, or was involved, or however that's working for you nowadays. But feminine energy and nurturing, learning, teaching, traveling might be a thing. It's all in the 7th house of partnerships. So the eclipse itself isn't just about the home, but also what and who you're going to have a long-term commitment to. You have technology up there at your midheaven for career and job. Space, very unconventional energy. This is the inventor. This is the humanitarian, highly altruistic energy at a very unconventional degree, shocks and surprises. And this is, you ain't the boss of me. This is what this energy is. So again, another chart that has a lot of signature points for strong, independent energy. You have it in a lot of ways. Aries in the 11th house of rebellions, rebelliousness, fighters, soldiers, even your freaking Mars, independent Mars in a domestic energy, or what I do for a living. Mars can be the fighter, can also be a surgeon. But it's in the 5th house of physical activity, play. We have Libra energy there, creative energy. It's also the location of lawyers and contracts. But 3 degrees comes up huge in communication and learning, lawyers and laws again, because you have Jupiter at 3 and you have Uranus at 3. Holy crap, boss energy, and Venus at 1 in Aquarius. So I gotta believe the person with unconventional beliefs, unconventional values, spirituality that is like definitely not conventional, however that looks for Aquarius energy, off the planet, otherworldly even kind of energy in terms of belief and philosophy on life. So your spirituality is group energy, but something different and extremely independent. Yeah. Unbelievable how much independence energy you have here. Fighter, go it alone. But yet at the same time, the placement of values, you have Cancer, home, women, and family, and nurturing, like being the nurturer. Doula energy even, my God. Just to really, there's a lot of really fascinating things here. So I don't know, as far as a release and a let go with home and family and children may be a thing. I think I kind of mentioned it, but there just might be additional things we're doing and tying things together. Our beliefs about the future connected to family, connected to children, and depending upon where we're at in our life and what stage we're at, that can get really complicated. People living with their children or their children living with them, and because it just gets a mixed bag of things. So you have a grand fire trine that's strong. And with this release, it looks like this is a release and a new beginning that you favor, not necessarily something that you're opposed to. A person with a Venus at 1 degree in Aquarius They have a tendency to desire disruptions and desire different, right? Unpredictable kind of energy. That's fun for them in a way, you know? And that's Leo energy. It's fun. It's fun and creative, strong creative. But the group energy comes forward big time. So I hope for you and for this eclipse that it brings the changes that you desire. And partnerships are part of it, and so are friends. Okay, group energy. All right. We are moving on. And thank you for waiting, Vanessa. And if I had missed your digits earlier, I apologize. I rescanned the chat and I didn't see them. Carolyn, I think you're the name after Vanessa. Are you here? Is Carolyn here? Wales, the UK. May 26th, 1969. Cardiff, Wales. Birth time, 1745. Carolyn, are you here? These are free readings, everybody. Let me reiterate that. These are free readings unless you send a gift to the channel. If you send a gift to the channel, then I spend more time on your chart. If you don't have the means to do that, then don't worry about it. We're just going to give you a speed reading. All right? Not a problem. We're truly doing this to just help people out. Astrology readings are $300 for 90 minutes, and that's the low end. That's the low end. I mean, obviously, when people reach out to me, I try to help people out, just in general, because it's expensive. It's expensive, but it's still expensive. So either way, they're expensive. So a little bit of a speed reading can give people a little look. Is Carolyn still here? Let me go scroll down and see if Carolyn's anywhere near here. I don't see Carolyn. She is, I think... Vanessa is a tough cookie. Did you receive my donation? News girl, I don't know if you heard me, but I think I... yeah, I believe this is from you, News Girl. It has a different name on it. It doesn't say News Girl. So... yeah. Yeah, I did say thank you, but I'll say it again. Thank you so much for the gift, the channel gift. Okay, so I'm not hearing from Caroline. We're moving on. I've never seen my chart. If I don't see your digits, I'm going to go to the next one. My father is April 13th. Take no prisoners. Father is April 13th. Oh my God. Okay. My grandma was also... get the hell out of here. Wow, another person with a number April 3rd. Amy said I worked for the government. Okay, I got to stop reading all these. Okay, so we got a person right here. Are you here? Oh. So we have December 9th, 1977. Kristen, Newcastle, Pennsylvania, USA, 10:35 p.m. Are you here, Kristen? Kristen's here. Look at that. Yay. Excellent. All right, so remember now, these are speed readings. If you want something longer, you can always gift the channel, and then the channel will gift you back with time. With that said, let's create this chart. Let's get this going. We did close the chat already. I put it in the text up there. Because we're 30 minutes past my time. But I'm going to try to finish everybody up that's in the chat before I said chat is closed. Before I said queue is closed. I think those are the words I used. I cannot believe the way this air conditioning is blowing. My feet are like so freaking cold. It like still has not turned off. Damn thing's been blowing for like I don't know. 3 hours. That's a long time. December 9th, 1977. What a year, right? I'm just saying. I sound so old. What a year. I sound like a 10:35 p.m. All right, let's get that on here. I mean, I don't know. I really never envisioned that life would be the way that it is now, but that's okay. I mean, I get it. We can't really envision those things, but I don't know. I was always so excited for the future until it got here. Until it got here, it was just like, what the hell? Seriously? Why are we alive in the dumbest timeline ever? I mean, holy hell, I just never envisioned that part of it. I mean, I guess I should have known, but damn. I mean, I knew different was definitely on the menu, but, well. All right, let's get your chart up here. Let's go. This is Kristen. Have you seen your chart before, Kristen? Let me remove this this thing. And we have Virgo on the rising at 0 with a Saturn there. That would have created some sort of a restriction at birth, some sort of a limitation at birth. Health, slowdowns. Normally, the Saturn energy can be like structures and bones of the body, spine stuff, knees, the hard parts of the body, skin, can be skin. And Virgo is more usually, it's Mercury, so it can go a couple of different ways here. It's usually like a digestive stomach thing and all whatever makes up all that in your gut type of area, Virgo stuff. But as Mercury the ruler and 0, I'm looking at something else here. You don't have anything there. It's possible. Maybe it meant you had to, stay in the hospital. But God, 1977, this was before they were pushing people out the window, or out the back door. Like, you're born, okay, time to get out, right? And you also have Jupiter in an interesting spot in the house of the angelic realm and beneficial energy. And that's conjunct your 11th house cusp line, which is at 0, which is a beautiful exact sextile to your ascendant and a nice trine to your descendant, beneficial energy. Hospitals, maybe angelic realm, maybe, doctors, medicine, something that could have been supportive if it was a rough go coming in. Because this would have been very close to birth with that Saturn on the ascendant like that. So, with that said, Aquarius energy, the quincunx. Okay, because, the Mercury energy and the mind energy, the neurological system. Interesting. That's quincunxing your ascendant, and that's surprises and technology, but medicine, doctors, and all that kind of energy. Okay. All right, so you have a Saggy moon at 10 if this is you. You can't remember if I even said that. The ascendant just kind of grabbed me with that Saturn. But your moon is at 10 in Saggy, and your Mars is at 11. Whoa. Yeah. So you've seen your chart, and this is you. Let me scroll down and find you. I struggled with that early. Okay, so the Saturn thing did present a struggle for you, but you're saying that this is your chart, right? That moon there. Okay, good. Hey, DKR, I see you. How are you? Okay, so yeah, moon can represent mom, home, and family, and it is in the placement of the fourth house. There's a lot of, yeah, ooh, this is tricky energy here because your moon is right next to Neptune and the sun's right on the other side of it. So, born on a new moon, hours before the new moon, and Neptune being part of the new moon. So, substances, medicine, drugs may had to have been part of the thing for you and mom, possibly. Um, but Neptune can make people disappear or fuzzy in some way or confusing in some way. Something, that's just Neptune energy. So this would have been in the home, but Neptune can also be like the hospital energy. So with all that said, you've confirmed that this is your chart. You've got kites all the way around. When people have that, like this is a spiritual journey. Sometimes we get so caught up in that this life we have goals and we forget it's a spiritual journey. It's not about what you want to accumulate. And I'm not talking about you personally when I say that. I'm just saying the spiritual journey, it's easy to forget. Unless it's not, unless we have no other options and, like we're a monk in a monastery or something, unless we're like a nun in a convent and like we know, okay, this is my journey, right? That's different. But if we're not living that life, if the world doesn't see us in that way, hell yeah, it's very difficult. It's living in two realms, two different, really different realms simultaneously. And it is a major struggle. And so with a kite energy like this, yeah, this kind of reminds me of that. Because you have Aquarius degrees, you have Venus degrees, desire degrees in multiple places, 0 degrees. You have a lot of extreme energy. Critical degrees. Number 11, the Mars, the physical body, shocks and surprises, but it can be great energy. But if you have Mars in your 12th house, it means I have sporadic bursts of energy, unpredictable sporadic bursts of energy, but creative energy in this chart should be off the chain. If you aren't using your creativity, do something with it. This tells me you love to start stuff and you have a creative bent to it, whether it's, harmony and beauty, symmetry, because it's Venus energy and it's Libra energy, it's your North Node, and you like to initiate and start relationships, contracts, right? I think the Libran energy, lawyer energy, courtrooms, but equality and fairness is going to be important, really important energy. And the Mars energy can be a fighter. Can be a fighter and a defender for children, even at the Aries degree. But Saggy in the 4th house, usually these people are adventurous. The road can be the home. Traveling can be, they feel most at home when they're traveling, if they're not literally on the road, or even homelessness sometimes. Neptune and Moon together. Sometimes the home, it's like, oh shit, don't know where I'm going to be sleeping tomorrow night type of thing. Sometimes that could happen. Your great benefic, actually, I'm trying to see if I kind of grabbed this chart and just, I don't know why it was strong. It was just kind of speaking strongly. What, did this person have 1 or 2 questions attached to it? No. Okay. Well, then that's, yeah. Yeah. So the moon energy can be really internalized, and you have all your Saggy in that 4th placement of internalization, and you have Scorpio in the 3rd house. 3rd house is what I'm thinking about, what's on my mind, what I'm talking about. And guess what? Scorpio's there. So there's wounds and traumas. It's very vulnerable energy. And Scorpio, most people like to say that Scorpios keep secrets. I see it as private energy, right? Like none of your business. That's how I view it. I don't, yeah. Scorpio can be extremely nosy, though. That's for damn sure. It is the super detective of the Zodiac. And with an inquiring, inquisitive frickin' mind with Scorpio in the third house, these are the ultimate detectives, the great investigators. These are excavators, drillers, diggers. Like, these people are great researchers. So for a mind that's never going to turn off and always have the strong curiosity, prodding and poking, that would be a great way to use that energy. Yeah. But really internal. And yeah, with the Venus and the Sag, you've got just so much here. Even Juno at the Jupiter degree. Wow. I love looking at all these interesting charts. I love seeing different setups, especially when there are people who are like outside of the country. I just get to see configurations I never see in the States. It's just very different. Even though that wasn't a US chart, it was still just, it reminds me of some of the charts that are just, different. Okay, so that was Kristen. Thank you for waiting, Kristen. Again, you could always come back. These are all free readings, speed readings. I'm just trying to wrap up here. We already we closed the queue for more new charts. Come back next time if I didn't get to you. I'm looking. Vanessa, got you. Okay, got you, newsy girl. Did that. Oh, we have a chart here. Who is this person? JV1234. Oh, I think I have you in my system. Are you still here? I recognize your stuff. Did I draw you up before? Are you still in the queue? Are you still in the live stream? Let's see. Oh, she's still here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I love starting, but I have a heck of a time finishing. That's all that damn Aries energy you have. You have a lot of Mars and Aries, and it loves to start. Yep. You have to incorporate your Taurus energy. It's the finisher. It's hard, I know. Okay, so let me get the chart. She's here. Let's see what we're talking about here. These are free readings. We're just about wrapping this up. And then we are all done for the day until the next live stream. And right now we are looking for JV123. I can't wait to stand up and to go put a pillow over that floor vent. It is so freaking, it's like, I don't know. I could keep an ice cube cold in here. JV1234. All right. Let's see where we're at. Wow, do I have it under that name? Holy shit, what do I have here? I mean, I recognize it, but do I have it? Oh, I don't have you here. I must recognize you from being in the chat before. Did you include your digits? How weird. Let me keep looking. But I think I went through all the J's. How weird. Unless it was under a different name. Okay, I don't see it. Let me create this. So strange. Okay, so we have January 30th, 1986. Okay, and we're looking at, what's the birth time? I don't see a birth time there. Uh-oh. Say, uh-oh. Did you give me a birth time? 6 a.m. Oh, did I have it under Jovi? Oh, snap. Yeah, that's where it gets really weird. Because, well, I'm just going to leave it as it is because that's how you show up in the chat. And that's, yeah. All the extra names just makes it more confusing. I'm just going to use the name that shows up on it's in the chat. So we're going to do 6 a.m. Okay. Oh, you had it there. I just didn't see it. I'm so sorry. She's probably like, this woman must be drunk. Okay, so let's, got to get a capital A. Yeah, didn't we just look at this on Saturday? Saturday night? Oh, it might have been during the weekday last week. I don't know. It's okay. It's really all good. 6 a.m. Thank you. I just don't know what I was doing. All right, let's save that. Okay, so Capricorn rising at 20 degrees, Moon in Libra at 4, Scorpio on the midheaven with your South Node right there, 28 degrees Mars. Ouch. Jupiter at 24 in Aquarius. Oh, you're going to have a Jupiter square Jupiter. I mean, opposing Jupiter. My dang words. Okay, so that 24 is a big deal because it's on your second house cusp line. Okay, so, well, yeah, I guess that's where I'm going. That's kind of what just jumped right out. So let's go there. Let's go there. So this is in the house of insurance money and change, deep changes. Can be vulnerabilities and wounds from the past, deeply bonded energy. You're probably going to have a little bit of a heads up too. Let me see. Let's move this forward here just a little bit. The sun is going to get here and then Mercury's going to follow right behind it. So this is like August 14th. Jupiter and Mercury are together. Jupiter can be an authority figure, can be dad, can be the boss at the job, someone you look up to, a spiritual figure, maybe higher education, but somebody you look up to. Teacher, preacher. It's in the 7th house of significant one-on-one relationships. Okay, so let me see what else it's triggering. Okay, so it's triggering Jupiter right. Okay, Jupiter just trined your Saturn and your Juno, your partnership energy. So that was nice. 11th house, might have been some surprises, long-term goals, could have been commitments with work, but this is partnership energy too. Friendships and partnerships. And when I say partnerships, this can be the marrying kind. And if it's not that, something exciting, new, different, unconventional, maybe even travel was part of it. It was Jupiter trining Saggy. However, at this time, what's coming into play here, Jupiter's going to have moved on and it's triggering Horus, Egyptian sky god. Okay, so this is a little bit different kind of energy. This is how we see ourselves in relationship to our family. So for you, it's how you see yourself in your relationship specifically to siblings and friends that feel like siblings, group energy, okay? But it's a nice trine. It's a trine. So communicating, talking, maybe travel, local travel maybe is involved. Even the retrograding Saturn is here though. So there's something with Saturn that keeps showing up for you. Long-term commitments, work, duty, responsibility. Saturn can be heavy, but it's Saturn in the fire signs. So it feels a little bit lighter in some way. We're more optimistic, we're more confident. It just doesn't feel as heavy as a Saturn in an earth sign. Holy shit. When Saturn was in Capricorn, oh my God. Do you guys remember that? It was so effing heavy. I don't even want to remember it. That's how heavy it was. I don't even want to remember it. I can still feel it. It's like, get away from me. It's too much. I literally just felt so, it was so heavy. So relationships come up big time. Okay. How we see ourselves in relationship to our family, to our ancestry, ancestors and culture. However, it does speak about prosperity through connection with the earth. The earth. Now, when we think of family and family connections and this Jupiter starting to connect this long-term energy, and then eventually, as we go down the line, the sun is talking to the 8th house. So maybe it's just deeply bonded energy. Maybe it's dad energy, right? It could be something like that. But it could also be insurance stuff. And as time moves forward for you, because the eclipse technically 2024, yeah, you don't have anything. Let me see over there at 24, 20. You don't have anything at the lower degrees for the eclipse. But what I will say is that the eclipse happens in your 1st and your 7th house. So it's myself and my significant one-on-one relationships. You don't have any planets that are super close to it. I mean, technically, the 2nd house cusp line is there, group energy, friendships, different and unconventional ways of making money. You like different unconventional desires, unconventional cravings, even. Being independent is really a big deal. Strong, independent, the authority of my own self, my own life, especially with somebody with all the Mercury and the Aquarius energy and the Sun and Venus. Holy shit. So you're going to have these strong oppositions at this time. And for the most part, it's maybe there's a possibility, whether it's maybe I'm saying goodbye to friends and saying hello to new ones, but something new coming in terms of group energy and technology. We'll just put it out there. Everybody in their technology with Aquarius, it's like we can't escape it. And if it's Jupiter, that can be beneficial. It can bring opportunities. However, Venus is your great benefic, not Jupiter. So with Venus as your great benefic and Venus being in air at this time, trining your Mercury, trining your Sun, trining your Venus, this looks really good. Yeah, this looks like it's a beautiful trine. Beneficial relationships, beneficial friendships, beneficial group energy, the house of gains, the energy of the angelic realm comes in, your physical body, your appearance. Maybe you're just getting out and feeling more independent. Maybe that's the thing. But having Venus in your income going through the 9th house of travel and aspecting your Sun and your Mercury, lots of communication and networking. But your income. Yeah. So this might be an opportunity, maybe if you're looking to add on to a job or looking for a different job, there just might be some additional opportunities that might be a surprise even because it's Aquarius energy. And then where did your Jupiter go? Okay, so yeah, I'm liking this for you. I think it's beneficial. I think it's something to look forward to. I think it's, it comes down to being able to communicate clearly and to stick with it and not be overconfident. It's the same kind of energy I told other people earlier with their confident Jupiter energy. It can go overboard because your Jupiter is in Aquarius. And this may be overconfidently independent energy, unless that is exactly what the job description is. Like engineers can work alone type of energy because you have Jupiter boss energy working solitary with technology. Like you have that in your 2nd house. Yeah. And it's in a nice trine with Pelsafina. You have a beautiful grand air trine that always sits here. So I feel like this, yeah, if that's like news you're looking for, then I feel like you're receiving news you can use. Oh, you wanted love. Okay. So just so you know, everything that I said is the 2nd house. getting activated. Well, that's love as well. It's values, money, income, how I receive money and love. So that would scream new, something new, someone different. Because you have friendship here, maybe it's not necessarily brand spanking new, but more different, as in a friend where, maybe it turns into something else. It comes down to, do you want that? Because Aquarian energy, when it gets activated, it may not always be long-term energy. However, we do have long-term energy building between Jupiter and Saturn up in the sky. So just keep that in mind. Okay? And that's for all of us. All right? So I think, let me go see if that was the last free reading, the last person on my list. I'm going to scroll down and see Tim, Amy, take no prisoners, Tim, Amy, Vanessa, News Girl, I already did. Thank you so much for the channel gift. Thank you so much. February 7th, 1989, New York City. Is that person here? Jillian Stedman, are you here? Jillian, you got in right before I put the queue is closed. Look at that. Is Jillian here? If Jillian's here, then I can create her chart. You are welcome, JV. So yeah, in the future, we're keeping it as your name. All right, going once for Jillian, February 7th, 1989, New York City, USA. And thank you for hanging out with me, Tim. I appreciate it. And for everybody else, if there's people I didn't get to see and say hello to, we'll be back again. This Saturday is the astrology class. And just so that people are clear, I don't know if everybody understands this. When I do an astrology course, my example charts are your charts, are the students' charts in the class. You follow? Like, who wants to look at some random ass chart of somebody you don't know? We use your own chart as examples as we go through learning. So just so y'all know, I mean, just didn't know if people thought it would just be somebody sitting there reading boring ass astrology to them. No, it's quite interactive. Okay, so Jillian, I'm not seeing here, so I think we are done. So for those who are putting their digits in, yeah, I want you to scroll up a little bit and you'll see where I put the queue is closed in here. Where the hell is it? Yeah, there it is. I put it right there. And that was at 5:17. And that just means come back again. Okay? That just means I'm past my time. I went over. I'm a half hour beyond my time. And yeah, we will look at your charts the next time you come back. All right. And for everybody, you just remember these are free readings. If you ever want more time spent on your chart, you could always just send a gift to the channel, which some people did here today, and I could spend more time with them. All right. So we'll see you guys next week sometime. Keep your, what do they call that? Your bell, your alert thing, because then that way when I go live, you get notified and then you can come back and get your digits in. Remember, it's first come, first serve in the queue. I'm going to be trying to have like, I'm going to try to initiate some other stuff so that the queue goes smoother. We'll see if it works. So yeah, Siddhartha, you got to come back. You follow? The queues are closed. Yep, we'll be here next time for everybody. All right? All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for all those who sent the gift and for all of those who were patient and who waited. You guys stay safe out there. Take care. Bye-bye.